sir, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy D Nally, aka Don Squally, and we are back at it with another Forza Horizon 4 video, man. If you guys are tuning in and seeing this, I'm just letting you guys know right now that we have a couple of vehicles live in the auction house. Some vehicles you guys would have seen built on the channel, and some that may be from my personal collection. There's a couple here. I can tell you one thing for sure, that Silverado is staying with me. I love that thing. But I have a couple different vehicles in my garage that I kind of want to get rid of, so head on over to the auction house, search up my username Don Squally, and have a look at what I got for sale there. But I do own a whole bunch of Nissan vehicles, as you guys can see if you're subscribed to my other channel. I'm a Nissan fan through and through, man. I've owned an Altima, currently have a G35, just bought that daily Centra. Big shout out to that Nismo Centra right there. So what I wanted to do in today's video is see which one of my Nissan vehicles is in fact the quickest by taking each one to the drag strip. Now right now I have 5, as you can see, but what I do want to do is jump into the auto show real quick, and we're gonna jump over to the Nissan section. I want to buy a Nissan vehicle here that's kind of the benchmark as to where I want to be, and I think we're gonna go with the 370Z 2010 Nissan here. Now, the reason being is that this car is pretty much, I like to think it's a pretty fast car. It is a VQ, obviously, that 370, 3.7 with the HR. So we're going to go ahead and buy this vehicle, keep it 100% stock, make a couple of base runs at the drag strip, and then from there, we're going to switch up a couple of different vehicles that I own that are Nissans. We're going to see which one is the fastest. So what I think we're going to do is take this to the Horizon drag strip, since from my understanding, from my research that I've done in this game, it is in fact a quarter mile. Now, the 370Z or even the 350Z, when you actually drive them in the game, you actually realize how incredibly slow and kind of laggy they are compared to a lot of other vehicles that are in the game, especially vehicles with a lot more horsepower. You really start to notice where that VQ and a naturally aspirated anyways is really starting to lack. Now, I'm not sure why I don't have the options to race online. I'm gonna have to see, maybe I'm not signed in or something like that, but I'm gonna do solo anyways, because the way that I want to set it up is to create a blueprint strictly Nissans. I'm also going to edit the event settings. Everything's good here as long as it's not raining, and I'm pretty sure that's about all that I can change. Now, I wouldn't mind running this strictly solo, but I think having other cars really shouldn't interfere. And as you can see, we have our pick from our vehicles. We're going to start with that bone stock 370Z right quick, and of course start the event. Couple of cool looking cars, some 240, it looks like a Skyline there, but I'm gonna focus more on getting my own personal best time here. Coming into third gear, let's see if we can switch views right quick. Looking like 169 kilometers an hour, which is going to be good for a 13.7. I'm going to go ahead and restart this race real quick. Now, if you guys have watched my other channel and know my G35, my best time in that car was in fact a 13.9. So, you know, that's pretty much where I am when it comes to racing a stock 370Z, which is pretty realistic if you take it into consideration. And there is a 13.6. And I'm going to give it one more run here just so we get our benchmark as to where I want to be. Again, we are looking for my fastest Nissan vehicle that I own here. Hitting that red line just a little bit. And it really takes a few runs to figure out where the most ideal shift points are going to be. And this one was looking like probably our fastest run. A 13.6, again, looks like almost the exact same number, so I'm going to be good as far as that goes. We're going to say 13.6 for our benchmark on that 370. And now next up, we are going to jump into that Centra Nismo 2018. Now this thing has a R35 GTR twin turbo swap. It is front wheel drive, however, so that should kind of affect the traction and launch a little bit, but we'll see how it does in the top end. Now, this was my favorite car on Forza Horizon 4 when it first came out. Well before I owned a Centra myself. Now you can see as soon as we hook, we are absolutely destroying everybody here. 205 kilometers an hour, so this thing is well into the 13s. 11.9. So this thing is an absolute monster. I guess I really shouldn't have expected any less. It does have that R35 swap. I just figured with the front wheel drive that the overall speed might be affected just a little bit more. Now the red line is a little difficult to find. I keep wanting to hit it off the red line there, but I'm kind of having trouble finding that sweet spot. I know I definitely have to hit the red line at least a few times at the top of first. Another 11.9 once again at 205 kilometers an hour. Now I think we're gonna have to get one more run in here real quick up against that 350 to the left of us. You can see if you shift gears into second just a little too early, you get a slight bog at the lower RPMs in second gear. But nonetheless, this thing's still prevailing on top. Looking at 11.9 overall, so I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty much what I had expected. Now next up comes another one of my favorites, the 03 Fairlady Z. Now this was predominantly my drift vehicle when I first got this game. I do have it all-wheel drive swapped, however, because just when I did get it out to do types of races like this, I was just having a lot of time getting grip in the lower RPM. So the all-wheel drive helps. Rear bias, so it's still good for drifting. So we're about to see what this thing can do on the drag strip. Now I'm guessing somewhere... Whoa! Now with that launch, we gotta be close to 10s. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure we got a single turbo on this thing. Didn't catch the miles per hour on that one, but that felt real quick. 10-1! 10-1. We're gonna see if we can break into the 9s. We're gonna do a quick restart here. I'm gonna pay a little more attention here to my launch real quick until I get going. Shifting in a second right before we hit that red line. 230 kilometers an hour. This thing is absolutely cruising. 10-1 once again. We're gonna give it one more go. I guess we'll do 3 for each car. Now that R34 to the left of us, not standing a chance in hell. We're just absolutely destroying everybody in this thing. Now I'm thinking 10-1 is probably going to be where this car's sitting right now, at 10-2 right there. So 10-1 was our fastest so far in the 350Z, but that's probably due to the all-wheel drive. Now next up comes my lightly modified Skyline R34 GTR. Now this thing, I ended up buying just to, you know, I think I upgraded the turbo, probably tires, brakes, suspension, and things like that, intake and exhaust, but it's nowhere near maxed out stock engine, so it should be interesting to see what this thing runs. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say close to 10s with this thing because it is all-wheel drive. Since it is all Nissan, we are going up against a couple of other Nissans pickup truck. I see I think 240 over there. Now getting out of the hole, it's very quiet and it's not entirely that fast. Right around 11 seconds, I'm gonna guess. As you can see, 11.1 right there. We're gonna give this one more go, maybe 2 more goes actually. I'm interested to see if I can get this any closer to 11s. I mean, it's just so quiet, you actually don't realize that it's picking up speed at a very fast rate. An 11.0, we're so close to breaking into the 10s. Go ahead and give her one more go, bring her right up to redline just a little more. That one, I think I hit it a little too much from first to second there, but we'll see how it goes. R34, very impressive though. Very, very low 11s. You could almost say well, I guess 11-1 there. We'll say 11 flat since that last race was 11 flat. I feel like with a little bit of work, we might have been able to get it into the 10s. But next up comes Adam LZ's Silvia Spec R. Now, this thing is an absolute dream. Saw it on the open house. Was pretty dope to see it out there. A lot of the YouTubers showcasing it on their channel. So we're going to take this thing out on the drag strip and see what it can do right quick. Whoa. An obscene amount of power. I can't even keep this thing in a straight line. Holy cow. Well, that was by far the hairiest, not the scariest, still pulling an 11.5 there. The hairiest launch that I've ever had so far in this video, by far. We're going to go ahead and feather that launch just a little bit on this one. And you almost can't. You just have to friggin' punch it because the tires are spinning no matter what. Pulling another 11.5. Now, there were a couple of Silvias. Oh, the 94s were pulling on us good there. We're going to give it one more go. I'm not going to talk. Maybe pay a little attention here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Get back into your lane, Squally. Woo! That was a little crazy. Almost rear-ending a whole bunch of cars. And an 11.6 there. So we're going to call it an 11.5 for this car. I really don't enjoy driving that thing. At least not in a drag race. That thing is an absolute monster on when you're drifting it. But my lord, drag racing that thing, it was just all over the place. And now we're racing I think this is a pretty much stock 97 GTR Spec V here. So we're going to jump into this. I want to say this is an R33 right here. Now, I really can't recall doing any mods to this, so it'll be interesting what it runs. If it does run a 13.6 anywhere close to the 370, that'll be impressive. Up against a 350 there. Getting out of the hole with ease. I'll just say that. Nothing too incredible, but it was definitely a lot easier to launch than that Adam LZ. Oh man, that Silvia. That thing was a monster. A 13.9. So we're running at an exact time of what my G35 in real life is running. We're going to give this one more go here. Maybe one or two more runs, I guess. You can see a little bit of bog there, low in the RPMs in first gear. Up in a second. Now this thing is just whisper quiet. You can barely hear a thing just gliding along. Again, running a 13.9. Looks almost to be the exact same time as the first run. So very consistent, which is what I like. And again, just a dream to drive. All the way up to red line, just smooth acceleration. No crazy just noises, just smooth driving. And again, a 13.9, an exact, I'm pretty sure that was all three the exact same time. I'm gonna have to go back in the footage and check that, but definitely the last two were 13.947. Which is super consistent, so I'll give the GTR that. Obviously, with some modifications, that thing could be a real monster, but still not as fast as the stock 370. Next up, we are going to do the Adam LZ 240SX. Both the Silvia and the 240 will probably be getting auctioned off, as well as this Silvia Club K will be racing next. But the 93 240 Adam LZ build, we're going to jump into real quick and see what this thing can run. Now, this is strictly a drift car, also like this Silvia that we raced earlier. So I'm not expecting this thing to run any crazy times. I am, however, expecting it to be a handful like the Silvia was. Ooh, short shifting a bit into second there. Now, this thing was just... it was kind of wheel hopping because it wasn't spinning crazy, but it was spinning a little bit. A 13.3. I'm going to give this one another go because I feel like we can do a little better. That launch was a little sketchy for me here. You can see it was wheel hopping until it gripped, and then we took it all the way up to redline, whereas before I shifted well before 7 grand. So that should be a little bit better. And again, a 13.3. These are very consistent times, I gotta say, but that does look to be the max for the 240. And last but not least, this is one of my own personal builds. I just wanted to do my own drift style build, 1992 Club K. Forget what kind of motor is in this thing. Well, one thing's for sure, it's definitely fast and it is definitely a handful. But we're at least going to see what it can do. The final car so far, the 350Z Nismo, seems to be the quickest one that I own. But we will see if we have a winner here in a second. Lots of turbo lag and lots of wheel spin. Having a heck of a time gripping there. Once we did though, we were pulling on the competition. 3rd place. Looking at about a 12.4, so that's still not too bad. But I think we might be able to get that launch a little better. Give her a couple more tries here. Trying to keep it straight. You might have heard the old controller joystick going back and forth there. Oh man, 6th place, looking at 12.6. So I mean the times were right around a mid 12-second car, but I'm gonna give it one more go here. Maybe shift a little earlier. We're finally hooked into 3rd gear here, and away we go. Can we beat our 12.6? 3rd place once again, and it looks like a 12.5, so that's not too bad for a purpose-built drift car. And it looks like we have won a super wheel spin, so let's see if we can get anything interesting. Ford Mustang, some gold trousers, and a horn. Well, I guess it's better than nothing. We at least won a car. But with that being said, I'm thinking we're probably going to put an end to this video, man. That 350Z Nismo looks to be the fastest Nissan that I own at this current point in time. But if you guys did enjoy this style of video, maybe we'll do like my best Honda or best Ford. I don't know. Let me know if you guys enjoy the drag racing videos, if you guys want to see more of this style, man. And go get yourself some cars from the auction house, man. Hopefully there's some stuff left after this video has aired. But also keep an eye out on the regular, because you never know when I'll be putting some vehicles up on the auction house. But as always, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Really means the world to me. And I guess that's about it. That's it. We covered all the bases today. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. We're going to catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh.